coming to.
From the world-famous Blackbird Studios, it's the Rave X podcast. And now, Rave X.
Hot damn, rock and roll. Your boy Rave X is back, baby. I took a little absence because I had some other projects going on, but I am back with the Rave X podcast, episode 34. Wow, yeah, 34. Top 5 rock and roll cover songs. Now, let me tell you something. I did this list kind of quick because I wanted to forget some of the other songs that maybe I thought were amazing back in the day, because I want you, the listeners, to fill me in on what you think is an amazing cover song. Now, first, let's get some business out of the way. A couple of weeks ago, your boy Rave X was a guest on a podcast called The Peaceful Life, hosted by a friend of mine named Laura out of California. Now, guys, we talked about peace and the police, I believe was the name of the episode. It's a two-parter. If you listen to the first part, definitely go back, listen to the second part. And we just talked about race, how police interact with people, and what it's like being a person of color in the city when police are constantly stopping you and asking you if you have any weapons on you. And I told a couple of stories, like back from episode 2, Mr. Crooked Officer. If you guys heard that, that's what me and Laura talked about, man, and it was a really good show. So definitely look for that. Just Google the Peaceful Life podcast, or if you follow me on Facebook, Rave X Music on Facebook, you can find it there. But let's not talk about the past, kids. Let's talk about now. I'm going to give you my opinion of the top 5 best rock cover songs ever written. Now, people are going to disagree because that's how it works. But that's okay, man. I welcome the discussion. So, starting at number 5, one of my favorite cover songs ever is by Metallica. Yeah, they covered The Weight by Killing Joke. Now, the original version came out in like 1980 by Killing Joke, and it's a pretty good song, but Metallica just amped it up with those big power chords. Jason Newsted was playing bass at the time. You can find this on Metallica's 598 EP, I believe, and I think they also redid it on Garage Days Revisited or something, going back to 1987. So Metallica, The Weight. All right. Number 4 was kind of a weird cover song, man, because every once in a while someone will cover a song that they shouldn't be covering, but it comes out okay. A lot of times it comes out horrible, but this particular song, going back to 2002, came out really good. The great, unfortunately the late, Man in Black himself, Johnny Cash, covering Hurt by 9 Inch Nails off the album Downward Spiral, which came out in 1994. Now, there's a quick story behind this, man. Johnny Cash, who we all know and love, his wife had died, man, and he was at the end of his career. His health was failing him. He didn't have any new songs he wanted to write, so he said to, his producer or whoever, how about I just do a couple of cover songs? And they gave him all these cover songs, these sort of contemporary songs for him to cover. And his version of Hurt by 9 Inch Nails, guys, it's sad. You can kind of like hear him dying in it, in a sense, because he died very shortly thereafter. He's shortness of breath. He's a little behind the beat a little bit, and he sounds like an old man at the end, But he had a great life, man. He's an icon. Johnny Cash, the Man in Black, covering Hurt by 9 Inch Nails.
I focus on the pain.
Now, number 3, man, was a song I used to cover in a band years ago, and a lot of people don't know the song as a cover, which is kind of funny. Every once in a while, the cover will sort of outshine and outshadow the original song. Now, this song is by the great. I don't even have to say how great he is. Jimi Hendrix, baby, covering Bob Dylan, All Along the Watchtower. And that's right. This originally was from Bob Dylan in 1967. Hendrix wasted no time. He covered it a year later in 1968. And I was watching a documentary on Jimi Hendrix, and they were talking about how much he loved Bob Dylan, and Hendrix is just, the king of all things guitar and rock and roll. Just an amazing influence to me growing up in the projects, when people would look at me and ask, why are you dressing like a rock dude? Why are you listening to rock music? And I would always be like, hello, Hendrix is black, and he rocks out with his fucking cock out. So there it is, man. The cover, better than the original, even though Bob Dylan's good, but Hendrix just knocks it out of the park with this one, man. Number 3, Hendrix, covering Bob Dylan, All Along the Watchtower.
There's too much confusion.
Now, number 2 was kind of an obscure one, man. A buddy of mine in Utah turned me on to this band called In This Moment. I've never heard of them before, but they're pretty good. Lead singer is a woman named Maria Brink, and she's cool, man. She's got some vocal cords on her, man. She's got some, as they would say, some mojones. You know what I mean? She's got some huevos, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, she covered Blondie, and who doesn't love Blondie? The original song, Call Me, is from the Blondie album from 1980. In This Moment covers it with just these thunderous drums and double bass drums and toms, and just the bass is great. These really thick guitar chords, and she just screams and wails. And I always wonder when an artist covers another artist's song, what they think of it. And you rarely hear, well, we liked the cover, we hated the cover. I think Debbie Harry, the great and beautiful, even to this day, Debbie Harry, I think she'd like this cover, man. So definitely, In This Moment, you can Google it, you can find it anywhere, covering Blondie from 1980, Call Me. It's a great song, man. Great cover. Hats off to them, man. They did it. Now, the number 1, my favorite cover song of all time, and I think a lot of people's too. I believe Rolling Stones had this as number 1, maybe like 15 years ago or whatever. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, who I love, man. Flea, the great Flea, was one of my idols when I started playing bass. You guys know me. I started off on guitar, switched over the bass, and Flea is just amazing. He cannot do wrong in my book. So they all cover Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder. Now, this came off of Stevie Wonder's album from 1973 called Inversions. I believe that's right. And it's on the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, Mother's Milk, that came out in 1989. I was just going into high school, man, and that album was amazing because the Red Hot Chili Peppers really changed their style. It was just kind of, at first they were kind of all over the place. Flea was just playing as many notes as they could. But Mother's Milk, they really started doing more melodic stuff. And this cover is just so spot on and just so awesome. It is absolutely perfect. Now, originally, Stevie Wonder played the beginning on a keyboard, but Flea took that keyboard line and he kind of appropriated it to bass, and it's just an iconic bass line. I mean, to this day, when I meet another bass player and we're doing the whole thing, the whole dick measuring contest of if you're good or not, there's like 2 songs I always see if a bass player can play well. Orion by Metallica and Higher Ground, because you really got to have some lead in your dick to pull off the bass line to Higher Ground, man. So there you go. Number 1, Red Hot Chili Peppers covering the great Stevie Wonder going way back to 1973, Higher Ground. Now, there's one song that I have to mention, man. If you're going to mention a list of covers that are just done so well and done to perfection, you can't leave this song off the list. And I feel like a lot of people may not know that this was actually a cover, although some people might. Depends on who you are and where you are. Tina Turner and Ike Turner covering Creedence Clearwater Revival back in 1968. Proud Mary, and I remember seeing this video on like Soul Train or something like that back in 1971. I wasn't alive then, so I'm watching the repeat of it, you know what I mean? But Tina Turner up there singing Proud Mary, and don't get me wrong, man, Creedence is great. I love them. Who doesn't love them? But Tina Turner just injected the perfect amount of soul and rhythm and funk and R&B into it, and it's a really up-tempo, like powerful version of the song. Go back, find that, and listen to it, man. Tina Turner covering Proud Mary by Creedence Clearwater Revival definitely gets an honorable mention, man. Well, that's going to wrap it up for me, man. I hope you liked my top 5 list of amazing rock cover songs, man. Hey, guys, can I let you in on a secret? I'm working on a song myself coming up. It's actually done. I'm just about to do the video. It's the final song off my album Rave X Volume 7 that I started a year ago. And this is the final song, and I want it to be a good one, man. It's called Swarm. Guys, wait till you hear this song. It's going to be so good, so amazing. And the video that I'm working on now, it ain't for the faint of heart, man, and it's not for everyone. But I believe your boy, Raven K. Xavier, knocked it out of the park again. So that's coming up soon, man. I'll let you all know. Follow me on Facebook, RaveX Music, Facebook.com. Or, if you want to download this stuff, ravexmusic.bandcamp.com. Guys, thanks for tuning in. It means a lot to me. Click like and subscribe, all that good stuff. My name's Ravex, kids, and remember this. If you start me up, I'll never stop. My name's Ravex, and I'm out of here.
That was the Ravex Podcast. Be sure to click like and subscribe. For podcasts, new music, and all things Ravex, go to youtube.com and search Ravex Music.